Hi students, today I'm going to try to do my own action painting experiment. So my questions for this experiment is, will thin viscosity affect the result of my beads painting? So I'm going to use beads for this. Okay, so what is your predictions about my experiment? What will happen to my action painting later? My predictions or my hypothesis is, I think the lines and the colors will be visible clearly. I think the result will be great. Okay. The third thing that I will do is I will prepare the materials and the tools. So the material that I use will be paper, tray. I'm using box, beads because I'm going to use beads for this activity. So this is an art beads like that. I have some, and paint palette just to mix the paint, and of course water. Okay, so in this experiment I'm going to think about the variables. So what are the independent variables for this experiment? When thinking about independent variables, I'm thinking about, what do I change? Do you know what do I change? The materials that I change is the paint viscosity. So I will add more water, and the dependent variable is something that we observe, the result of the experiment. So the result that we observe will be this one. So the lines and the color is the dependent variables. And the last one is the control variables. The control variable is the one that stays the same. Well, we change the paint viscosity. The one that stays the same will be the paper will stay the same, and the size of the beads will be the same. So I will count it carefully when using it. Now I'm going to explain about the step. I'm going to change the paint viscosity. Remember, so I will prepare the paint viscosity for this. If you see here, this is pretty thin, it's like water. The second step is we need to put the marble in the paint. So I will just count the marble because it needs to stay the same. Remember, the control variable, marble size, and the amount of the marble will be my control. So I have how many of marble here? I have 8 marble. So I'm going to use 8 marble for the yellow. Okay. And I'm going to start painting using yellow paint here, and because it's already dipped on the, and I will drop this into here. You see that? Now the next step is I will shake this around. I get my first one, and I'm going to try again. I think my color is not mixed really well, so I will mix it again, and I make sure that my viscosity is thin. With the same amount of bead, I will use red color now. Remember, the paint should be thin. Okay? I'm going to drop this, and I'm going to shake it again. Okay, so I have the result here. So this is my action painting. I need to create with more color, definitely, but if you look at closely to the painting, I like the line that is created by the beads, but somehow I think my hypothesis is not really true. Okay, so I think I need slightly thicker paint and I also need to mix the paint well, so because it is not consistent, there are part where it is blurred with too much water there, and also there are part that have create good lines. So this is what I expect the result. But then because it's too much water, it's too watery because I use thin viscosity, and that's why it is watery like this. Right, so that is my experiment. You can do your own experiment, and you can try and using other tools that you have at home. Good luck.